Hi everyone, I'm Rosemary, and can you believe that I made all of these upscale look decorative soaps by transforming ordinary soaps from Dollar Tree? Let me show you how I did it. I wanted to start with a popular hack, which you may have seen before. However, it's worth quickly reviewing here for anyone who hasn't seen it yet. You start by taking a print that you like that is also appropriately sized so it'll fit on the bar of soap. You can use print tissue paper, like these great options from Dollar General, or cut down the graphics from a paper napkin to fit your soap, making sure to peel all the layers so that you're only using the top layer with the print on it. Next, I painted a thin, even layer of Mod Podge on the surface of the soap, and then took my paper and laid it right on top, gently smoothing it into place. Notice that the paper is larger than the bar of soap, and I will take care of that in a minute, but for now, I'm just going to let this dry and then go back and paint 3 more layers of the Mod Podge on top. And then now that that base layer is dry, I will put my top coats on and will allow each of these coats to dry thoroughly before doing the next coat, again with a total of 3 coats on top. And now once all those top coats are thoroughly dried, I will go back and cut the edges of the paper. Then I'll take a sanding block and refine the edges even more. The result is a quick and easy decorative soap you can use to add a festive touch to your home with holiday prints, or use non-holiday prints and add a little charm year-round. And they also make great gifts. Better still, these soaps are not just pretty, you can use them too. The Mod Podge is non-toxic and will keep the paper sealed in a waterproof layer so the image won't deteriorate and you won't get any color bleeding. You'll be able to use the soap as normal with suds coming from the sides and back of the bar. This next one is a fun one. I again took Mod Podge and put it in a plate. Next I added drops of food coloring, and for this combo I'm using 5 drops of yellow and 4 drops of red. I then used a skewer to swirl the dye through the Mod Podge, creating a marble effect. Next I took a bar of soap and dipped it in, and wow, the result was like little pieces of abstract art. I gave the food dye and Mod Podge another swirl to keep that marbling effect and kept going. I was able to do 3 bars with that one mixture. Now this one does take several hours to completely dry, and then once it was dry I sealed it again with 3 coats of Mod Podge on top. And yes, once again completely usable, and the colors remain sealed inside and will not run. And then here's just one more Mod Podge option. This time using pressed flowers. I got these off of Amazon, but I found an amazing hack to make instant pressed flowers in your microwave that I used in my No Wax Candle Hacks video, which I will link here and in the description. But for this one, I again applied some Mod Podge to the soap, then arranged the flowers. When dry, I applied 3 coats of the Mod Podge to the top, and the result is such a pretty bar of soap with so many possible variations. Now you may be wondering exactly which soap I'm using for the base, and I like either Ivory or Jergens. Dollar Tree sells Jergens 3 bars for $1.25, and Ivory is available pretty much everywhere else for about 3 for $1.50 or so. To get a nice blank canvas, I take a potato peeler and gently shave off the top of the soap to remove the embossed print. It will take a few swipes across the surface, and it does help if your peeler is fairly new. I don't get it completely flat, and it does already have ridges and rough edges from manufacturing, which ironically add to the handcrafted aesthetic. But don't throw those shavings away because they're the star of the next DIY. Have you ever seen how when you put Ivory soap in a microwave, it puffs up into a great big cloud? It's pretty cool, but guess what? These shavings blow up even better. I put about a cup of shavings onto a microwave-safe dish. Next, I pop it in the microwave on high for about 10 seconds, give or take a second or 2, depending on your microwave. And then watch the magic. The soap puffs up into this amazing cloud. How cool is that? Better yet, you can still use the soap. It makes a fun and pretty soap alternative, and all you need to do is break off a piece and suds up. And like the other projects in this video, this soap hack makes a great gift, especially for kids. Just place about a cup of the shavings in a small treat bag and decorate with a label and instructions. My daughter Nikki made this one, which reads, cloud soap in a dish. Puff it up and make a wish. Take a piece and suds it up. All day long you'll have good luck. What a great little gift, and they only cost about 50 cents to make. And if you're looking for more great gift ideas, be sure to check out our 2022 Inexpensive but Impressive gift series with new videos published weekly on Sundays through the season. Episode 1, Spa and Bath, and Episode 2, Sports, Games, and Fitness have already been released as of the published date of this Soap Hacks video. But for now, let's return to this video and the Pears brand soap available at Dollar Tree. Now this is an impressive find in itself, as Pears brand soap is imported from England and sells anywhere from $5 to $7 a bar. So it almost pains me to do the next step of this DIY, which is to cut the bar in half and then again use the potato peeler to make translucent ribbons of the soap. And I'll just continue making ribbons like that for the one half of the soap, and then when that's done, I'll continue with that second half. And then how pretty do these ribbons look placed in a jar? You can add a lid and have a beautiful bathroom display, or add a ribbon and give as a gift. And then here is another option using all 3 colors of the soap. I made ribbons with 3 different colors and then layered them in a wide mouth vase. And then once again, I can put it by the sink, take a piece, and use it as an alternative to regular soap. And then before moving on from these Pears soaps, I couldn't help but go back for one more Mod Podge hack, since these soaps do have this little indent across the front, making it a perfect nook to put some dried pressed flowers. So again, I just painted the middle section with a layer of Mod Podge and then arranged some of the pressed flowers. And then when that was dry, I added 3 more layers of the Mod Podge on top. And wow, what a gorgeous result. The translucent soap provides the perfect backdrop, and the rim of the soap seems to make a little frame. Pretty as a picture. For the next hacks, I'm again going to use the ivory soap with the shaved down front. In addition, I will also be using some melt and pour soap base that I picked up at Michael's, as well as some mix-ins including lavender, oatmeal, coffee, and freeze-dried crushed raspberry. And then for each soap, I'm going to take one section of the pour and melt base and melt that in the microwave for 10 or so seconds. Once melted, I'm going to take one of my mix-ins, and in this case it's the oatmeal, and that's 2 tablespoons of chopped rolled oats, and pour it into the melted soap and mix it thoroughly. Once it's mixed, I'll put it aside to cool off and stiffen up a bit. Then I'll go back to my ivory soap bar and make some anchor holes at the top of the soap with the top of the potato peeler. These holes will help keep the 2 pieces of soap together. Once my oatmeal soap has cooled to a workable consistency, I'm going to begin slowly and gently spooning it onto the top of the ivory soap bar, trying to keep it on top of the bar. However, if it does drip down the sides, it can be easily cleaned up later. And it is going to take several layers. That's just the first layer there. I kind of put that on, let that set up, and then go on and put in a second layer of the oatmeal topping. And if need be, you can moisten your fingers and just try to shape it around if needed, while it's still pliable, that is. And then after that, and you've cleaned it all up, you can set it aside to completely cool. For the raspberries, I just wanted to show you that I'm using these freeze-dried raspberries that I picked up at Target. And again, it's going to be 2 tablespoons that I've crushed down, and then just mix it well. And then I did this one just like I did the oatmeal, created some anchor holes at the top, and then carefully added the raspberry topping. And then for the coffee, it was again 2 tablespoons of ground coffee to the 1 section of melted soap base. And then again made holes in the top of the ivory soap and added the topper and cleaned up where necessary. And then for the lavender, you guessed it, 2 tablespoons of dried lavender in 1 section of melted soap base, mix well, and add to the top of the ivory soap bar. And then as a final touch, I'm going to take some of the melt and pour soap and drizzle that over the top of the topping, in this case oatmeal, and then I'll take some whole oats and sprinkle those over the top of the drizzled soap. I did the same with the lavender, and then with the coffee, and then with the raspberries, I did the initial drizzle and then added 3 of the whole freeze-dried raspberries. After that, I added a second layer of drizzle on top. But all that drizzle is kind of messy. But the good news is, once it was set, all I had to do was kind of crease it with a butter knife, and then it just slid right off. And now for what makes these uber cute. My daughter Nikki made these adorable labels. They all say either oatmeal and ivory or raspberry and ivory, coffee and ivory, lavender and ivory, which is not untrue. And we do have a link to a free printable of these labels, as well as the label for the cloud soap in the description below. For our last soap hack, we're going to be using these Loofah soaps from Dollar Tree. They're a great buy just in their own right. There's little loofahs inside glycerin soap, and we're going to be making little cakes out of them. But first I wanted to make a little cake topper. So I again took some of the melt and pour soap, melted that in the microwave, and then did you know that you could actually use blush and eyeshadow to color your soap? It's the same mica that they use to create, powdered blushes and shadows that they use for the soap dye. So it's a great, easy, and economical way to color your soaps. So I just put some of this old blush into the soap and gave it a good stir. But definitely use something better than a toothpick to really get a good mix. And then once that was mixed through, I just poured it onto a plate in order to get a nice, thin, even layer. And then for sprinkles, I'm going to just grate a piece of this old red soap that I happen to have on hand. And then once the soap was set, I took a little heart cookie cutter to create my shape. And then it was just a matter of taking the little loofah soap from the Dollar Tree, putting it on a cooling rack, and then taking some of the melted melt and pour soap and drizzling it over top, making sure to get all around the edges so that it dripped over the sides. And then place the little topper on top while the soap is still wet. And then, oh my goodness, how ridiculously cute is that? And you can make them in multiple different colors with whatever topper you like. I think this one may be my favorite, but you let me know in the comments which one you like best. Well, I hope you have had as much fun watching this video as we had making it. If you enjoyed the video, please remember to give a big thumbs up and please share with any family and friends you think might also enjoy this video. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.